What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 106. I am here with a good friend of mine. He is probably Taiwan's best football coach for goalkeeping. He's got his own Evolve Goalkeeping. We're going to talk all about it. He just started that a while ago. Good friend of mine as well. We're going to get that all done right after this. All right, we're back. How's it going, brother? Nice to see you, man. Good. Thanks for coming out, man. I appreciate it.
Lovely little Typhoon Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's been weird. I mean, we had a pretty good weekend on the 10-10 weekend, but then Monday was strange. So yeah.
I don't know what happened. I went to
Hey guys,
the beach
Martin. We already got a hello. Hey Martin, how's it going, brother?
I went to the beach on Sunday, and it didn't seem like a typhoon was coming.
Really? Was it hot or?
It was like a nice day.
Okay.
A nice day, and then like you can feel the wind starting to pick up, and then yesterday or Sunday night it was just came in like that, right? And been 2 days of typhoon wind.
Okay, beautiful. Well, it was weird because we're like, is a typhoon coming? And then you don't see it, and then maybe, and then no. And then the last few typhoons have been really weak in Taiwan, right? They're like, shut it down. And then, it's not even bad, right? It's weird. It's a tough one. It's a tough call.
I think it's pretty much over though, right?
I think so. I hope so, man. Shoot, yeah. But how was your 10-10 weekend then, man? You had a good one?
10-10 was fun. I had some trainings on Saturday.
Okay.
And then Sunday,
I'll just keep adjusting.
bit of a chill weekend because a lot of people go away for 10-10. So I had some training sessions on Saturday. Sunday just went out and went to the beach. Went to Wanli.
Okay.
And like I was saying to you earlier, definitely go to Wanli if you like seafood. Get some awesome crab at the moment there, so it's good fun.
Well, I was saying to you that we don't have a car, right? So we never go to those like hidden spots like that, and we need to do that. We need to, because I've been here for so long, but we don't. I don't know. I feel like I miss out on a lot of those things, but it is what it is, I guess, right?
I think the biggest game changer when you live in Taiwan is having a car. It becomes a different place when you have a car. Obviously, day to day, most people don't need one. Most people are like, why would you get a car in Taiwan? Like, especially with, I don't know, about Canada or the UK, like driving in those countries.
Well, it's different. You need a car. You need a car for sure.
Right? There's no scooters everywhere.
Yeah.
The roads are much bigger.
Yeah.
And then you come here, like having a car, you're like, nah. For the longest time, I was I don't want to have a car. But
don't want a car.
Once you do, there's just so many places you can go. So it's cool to get out, and it's meant I can explore the island. Also for work, it's much easier to get.
What I was saying earlier when we were off camera, when you don't have a car, it's just like, okay, you can rent a car, but then you're like, I've got a destination, I'm going there. We don't really stop. Like the cool thing about having a car is if you can just jump in a car and be like, hey, we're gonna find lunch up the mountain or something, which is something that I do miss for sure.
Be spontaneous.
I do like that. Yeah,
I like just go find a beach somewhere or something.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I love beaches.
Beautiful place, Taiwan.
Beautiful. Let's. How you doing with spicy food usually, man?
I've had the sauce of your hottest wing before.
Okay.
And I was being all like macho about it.
I remember.
I think it was.
Was it with Johnny and those
Johnny,
guys?
I think it was Johnny's
Check
last night.
Check this out. Blam. Well, I think it might have been that night. It might have been that night, right? Shout out to the boys. Okay. Yeah. So you had the sauce. What'd you think?
I was being all macho about it, and I said, "It's nothing.
It's nothing."
And
yeah.
It hit me, and I think it was hitting me for like a good hour afterwards. Well, these are easy ones, so it's nothing like that. So we can just take it easy. The first one's just a basic buffalo wing, right? So you told me people don't touch the milk, but
I
might need a few glasses of milk.
A lot of people are like, no, I don't touch the milk. I don't. But when they get to that last one, everybody's drinking the milk.
So what we got here?
So the first one, we got the buffalo, man. So we'll just start with the buffalo.
Oh yeah.
We'll just get that. It's basic. So we'll start with that and keep going. Yeah.
As you can tell, Eddie's a pro. Eddie went for a black shirt tonight. My mom apparently didn't teach me anything. I went for a white t-shirt.
It's just the uniform. I usually have the chef jacket, but that thing's so heavy and thick.
Yeah.
It's so uncomfortable. I feel like such a phony when I walk around in a chef jacket. I'm like, hey guys, I don't know why. It just feels weird. I don't know.
As a restaurateur, you feel like
I know. No. I know. I deserve to wear it and stuff, but I don't know. It just feels pretentious to me.
I don't know how to unpack that statement. Is there some sort of like hidden meaning?
I don't know.
That?
No, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but just I just find it. Usually, the chef jackets, I usually find them a little bit douchey, right? So me wearing one and being like, I got my jacket. I feel like a douche, So
one of those chefs that has like
all the everything sewed in,
just like stylized. On
well, the funny thing is, I do have my name sewed in because they're like, okay, you have to have something sewed in, and I'm like, I don't want to sew nothing in. And they're like, oh, you have to have your name and your position and blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, just put Eddy on there. And they're like, well, full name. And they're like, I'm like, no, just put Eddy. And like, okay, what do you want, executive chef? I'm like, no, no, I don't want that at all. And they're just like, what? So I think it's just my name. I don't even remember. It's such a long time ago, but yeah.
When you're in charge of something, there's that really weird feeling of like you don't want to seem like you've got a big head about it.
Yeah, right? Exactly, right? Exactly.
And so, I don't know, some people go like overboard and they really overplay themselves.
Yeah.
Like they'll open out like something and they'll be like, I'm the founder and CEO of this. And you're like, yeah, I'm uncomfortable with that. I just,
Yeah. No, I agree, man. I think I don't know. So the beginning story for the restaurant was my wife wanted to do a coffee shop, right? Which is, I think it's I know a lot of Taiwanese girls that want to do a coffee shop, right? So my wife was, she wanted to do a coffee shop. But I do like coffee, but I mean, I don't have to have a coffee. Like I can go a month, whatever. No problem. No coffee, no problem. So to do a coffee shop, I would feel like a fake, like a pretentious son of a douchebag. Like, hey, I got the best coffee in town. But because I'm not a coffee guy. So that was why it kind of became the Mexican restaurant, because I can't lie. I don't want to say I've never lied, but I'm pretty direct, a pretty honest person. So this might be a completely made up thing, but I remember somebody telling me at one point that like Taipei City had like the most coffee shops per person in the world. Or you know what? That would not surprise me. Everywhere you go,
it could have been a made up fact.
Though a lot of facts are made up, but coffee shops.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no shortage of coffee shops. I think there's a shortage of coffee shops with good coffee and good food for sure. Yeah. But like coffee shops on every corner, if you're just out and about and you got your laptop and you need to do some work.
Oh yeah,
they're everywhere. Yeah, for sure.
Easy, for sure.
All right, what's up? It's 1 p.m. in Slovakia. We're working, we're watching, having a great conversation, eat spicy food. Suffer makes my work more enjoyable. All right, well, we'll be suffering soon, so keep on the channel, man. Thanks for the comment. Yeah, man. So of course, buffalo, no problem, right?
Buffalo's tasty.
Okay, so I know it's lame, but the first question is always got to be like, I never ask you. People don't really ask each other this when they're friends, but what originally brought you here to Taiwan?
What brought me to Taiwan?
Originally,
I never intended to live in Taiwan. What happened? I worked in a job in the UK. I decided to go traveling for a little while.
Okay.
And I had a friend who had moved to Taiwan to teach English.
Okay.
And I thought, you know what? I'm going to do some traveling.
Okay.
Screw it. I'll do 10 days or 2 weeks in Taiwan.
Okay.
And I came here. I picked like Chinese New Year to come here.
Oh shoot! Because you think, Chinese New Year is going to be awesome.
I was thinking it was like
parades and parties, right?
In my mentality, it was like, oh, that's going to be like being in England during Christmas time or something. But then I realized like maybe that would be boring as well if you didn't have your family. But I got here, everything was shut, but I just was so like amazed by how beautiful Taiwan was, and I think the place that really made me fall in love with Taiwan was Hualien. And
Hualien, okay.
I remember going there and just being like,
that's beautiful, right? Yeah. Okay.
And that place, no matter how many times I go back there, it's still like a place where I just.
What's your favorite place in Hualien?
Favorite place?
Like if you could just pick a place and be like, I need to go here, either to eat or for the scenery or what? Is there a place, or is the whole place just amazing?
I just think I'd like to get some more time to explore it more even.
Okay.
Like the national park, like Qingshui Cliffs, is so beautiful. And
okay.
I remember like last year, I decided to go like kayaking around there. It was stunning. Just like
Okay.
just just beautiful natural scenery, and it's just like you think about Taiwan. There's what 23.5 million people.
Something
in Taiwan.
like that. I think
about 22.5 live on the western side of Taiwan. So,
I think Taipei has got like a big amount, right? Like I don't know how many Taipei's got. I would say I would guess around 10. Any idea? I have no idea.
I'm not too sure. Taipei.
Yeah. It's got to be. Yeah.
But like that corridor from that area from Taipei to Kaohsiung is where most people live. You go to the East Coast. There's there's a lot more nature. There's a lot more to see. It's really beautiful, and just I don't know what it was. Just I remember from the moment I landed in Taipei, I just really, really thought this place was incredible.
It's just like this place is keeping me here, yeah?
So, I stayed here for 2 weeks. I did a bit more traveling. And I remember, my last day in Taiwan, I had a job interview on Skype. And I remember in the interview, I'm just like staring at the screen, just like I'm staring outside the window.
Okay,
and I just couldn't pay attention. And the guy I was talking to just was like, is this guy okay? He's just not paying attention to me. And I was just like, no, what's going on over there? I want to see what's going on in the rest of the spot.
Yeah.
I think just pretty much decided that, I wanted to try Taiwan for a year or two. So went back to the UK, sort things out, ended up moving to Taiwan, and it's been 8 years now.
8 years, okay.
Yeah. So.
It's a great place, man. I mean, it's kind of a similar story. I love it. I also planned on coming maybe 1 or 2 years. Yeah. It's been almost 20 now. It's ridiculous.
Almost
it's a
20.
long time, man. Yeah. I'm getting close to like that halfway point,
How are you gonna celebrate 20 years?
I don't know, man. I December will be 20. December will be 20. So
it's coming up.
It's coming up, man. Yeah, and I'm 43, right? So it's getting close to like that halfway. I still can't get citizenship. But hey, that's a whole other topic, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't expect that.
Yeah. That's exactly.
I don't know,
it's funny. I think what happens with the citizenship is most people don't really know. Like I talk to a lot of Taiwanese people, and I have friends with a lot of Taiwanese people, and they're like, "Hey, you got your citizenship?" I'm like, "No, I can't." And they're like, "Well, how long you been here?" I'm like, "Well, almost 20 years." And they're like, "Oh, of course you can get it." I'm like, "No, I can't. I need to cancel my Canadian citizenship." And they're like, "No, that's ridiculous. You don't have to do that." I'm like, "No, I do." And they're like, no, "Nobody knows." Like the average, I think, Taiwanese person who's not sort of involved in paperwork with foreigners, which is a lot of people, they have no idea. Yeah,
I've heard of people getting it, but I've never understood how. It's not.
Yeah, I don't think I'm special enough to get it, man. You got to have some kind of, I don't know.
The way I kind of see that is, I'll never be considered Taiwanese, but I will, if I stay here, my kids will be Taiwanese, and it's, I might not have the nationality, but it's still my home.
No, for sure.
So that's.
I agree.
I'm not really too bothered with it. I've got, as long as I can get everything else legally, like that I need to live here.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Yeah, for sure.
It's at the end of the day, it's not like an issue where I'm like, I know some people who are like, oh,
a lot of people are really like, I should have it. I have my rights. And
but it's a different definition of like identity.
Yeah, I mean, I really, like I said, I've been here almost 20 and I don't have it. I guess there's new, like you're saying, some people are getting it now.
Yeah.
I don't want to say I gave up, but I stopped looking like probably 10 years ago. Like I don't want to say I don't care, but not really. I don't really care. Well, I'm done with it. Yeah.
I think once you get like the permanent residency,
I've got that ages ago. Yeah,
that allows you to open a business.
Yeah,
even though it's a
everything.
lot more hassle than if you just open it with a Taiwanese owner.
Sure. Yeah.
And you can still buy a property. You can still do all these things.
Taipei is 8 million. All right. Wow. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I don't have young Jamie back here to Google it for me, so I appreciate it, man. Shout out to you, brother.
Yeah.
Hey, Coach Pete from Forest.
How can you read that? I cannot read that at all.
I don't know. I just
apparently
when you have to, you have to.
I found out today that I have bad eyesight.
Well, no, I mean, Coach Pete from Forest Maddox.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Well, shout out to Forest Maddox.
Now I've got to be polite.
Now you got to be polite. All right, cool. Let's get the next one, man. I believe the next one's Chipotle. Yeah?
Oh, this one looks good.
Chipotle's pretty solid, yeah?
It's tasty.
All right, yeah?
Yeah.
Not too spicy yet, right?
Can we just keep them all this spicy though?
Yeah, we can keep it. Yeah.
These are
until the next one. Yeah. So obviously, one of the main reasons I wanted to have you on was because you started your Evolve goalkeeping, right? How long has it been now? 2 years?
Year and a bit.
Year and a bit.
Yeah.
Year and a bit. So just over a year. Obviously, when you open your own business, it's night and day compared to what you were doing before, right? You have to do. Well, when people open a business, they have no idea all of the extra stuff that goes on. Like, let's say in your case, the actual coaching is. I don't want to say that you just like
stressful part.
It's the least stress, the most fun. For me, like the actual cooking is such a small part of it. There's just so much going on. So
I remember when I like worked for other people as a coach, it was like, oh, I had to stress over like, is this good enough? Is this good enough? And then it's like, when you actually have it, it's like you're in charge of everything. Like that becomes. You could say it also makes you way better at it because you get to just be like, well, I don't have to overthink. I think overthinking is like the worst thing we can do as people sometimes.
I agree.
We chronically overthink and we overstress about things.
I agree.
And when you're like, like I've had things like where it's like, oh, I got to deal with this, and then it's just like, oh, wait a second. I don't have time to overthink this part. I'm just going to enjoy this.
There's just no time.
And then you start putting in the effort and just in terms of being like, my number one priority is I have to enjoy this part. And then just the byproduct that if you're enjoying what you're doing, everybody around you is going to enjoy it, right?
It's really infectious if you're a positive. Like, cause one of the reasons I also wanted to have you, because I love having a good chat with you. You're a positive guy. And I think that'll come through on the video for sure. So I think I agree. I think if you're enjoying it, you're gonna like it. Kids are gonna like it. When I used to coach, I loved it, man. I mean, it's one of the things I miss. The funny thing is, my daughter doesn't like it very much, which is
she likes
BJJ, man, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So,
but
we'll take it.
The fact that your daughter has found something that she also loves and she really enjoys to do,
what she would rather do than that is play video games all day. So that's kind of like the extreme. So we actually haven't done BJJ for a few months because of all the COVID and all that craziness. But now things are coming back to normal.
That's not really a social distancing sport.
Oh my God. Speaking of social distancing and stuff, when my daughter had online school, all the kids were kind of like, oh yeah, she loved it because she has so at home I'm building sort of a little studio, like a podcasty sort of a studio. So she just did her online stuff in there. So she's got this big chair. She's got this like 24-inch 4K monitor, and then this like 55-inch monitor up there. And she's just kind of like, you got her teacher here in the corner, and she's listening with her headphones, and she's playing video games on the other screen. She's just like, and she's like, this is great. It's 2 hours a day, 2 hours of homework, you're done. Whereas when you go to school, it's like 8 to 4, and then 2 more hours of homework. It's crazy.
I don't know if teachers would feel the same about that, because I feel like I did some online classes as a coach, and I had some kids who were just like, coach, I'll never do that because I'm just not into that. That just doesn't sound right. And I was just like, some liked it, and when I did it, I did a lot of it, and I pushed it really hard just to try and keep people going and keep interacting. Of course,
it's hard,
But it like, I don't know, I could spend like an hour on a field, and it, like that hour just flies by.
Yeah, for sure.
And online, it was
you
like
clock watch a little bit. You're like, how much time do I have left?
You get so much more emotional feedback from people when you're in their presence, right? And you start like looking at people just like, is this going in? Is this any of this working? Or and some people just won't get into it. Some people will just be like,
I agree. I agree, man.
So I know a lot of teachers who did the online thing, and they were like, no, not for me. And I was trying to do it, and I was pushing it, and I enjoyed it. But I was just like, this is nothing on just being out there with people. And I remember like the first time I could get out, I was like, this is the best feeling ever.
Well, I think because you're the kind of guy that's not just going to sit there, I think same as me, like the pandemic comes, you kind of got to close things down. and you just throw up your hands and be like, "Oh my God, the government should pay all my bills," and blah blah blah. I mean, you got to pivot. You got to do something. I mean, that was one of the questions. I mean,
you got to keep going somehow.
How was it like? How did COVID affect your business? Like that was one of the things I wanted to know.
Summertime would be considered a good time.
Yeah, that's high season for coaching.
I can imagine for a restaurant, like you probably
restaurant is weird. It depends on the area, but but I mean, if like for example, all the people in this area in the summer they all leave. Everyone's back to the UK, back to like you'll have Taiwanese. They go to like California or wherever, Vancouver. So a lot of people here leave. But last year was the best summer we ever had because no one could leave. So everyone stayed here. They wanted to have their little piece of the States or wherever. They would come here. They'd eat. They'd have their craft beers. And then this year was fixing to be the same.
Yeah.
And then the whole lockdown thing happened. And within 2 weeks of people saying, no, we're staying here, they all left. Everyone was gone. So, I mean, the lockdown the soft lockdown.
Yeah.
And then we were about 3 months of no dining, which was pretty rough, man. It was definitely rough. Yeah. But what about you? I mean, it had to have affected you as well.
It wasn't a nice summer. It was out of our control. That's all I can say about it. I didn't enjoy it. I wasn't happy with it. I was expecting this summer to be a really busy one, a really good one. But was it a total disaster?
Yeah.
No.
No, right? Yeah.
Things still happen. I know of a lot of businesses closing down.
A lot. I have friends that lost all their stuff, but they bounced back. I think a lot of them bounced back pretty quick. And what else can you hope for? Yeah.
For me, like I was talking to somebody else about this, and they were saying that they lost like maybe 70% of their students due to COVID.
Yeah.
And I was asking but surely the ones that you've kept, they value you more for you, right? And I feel like in the long run, the only thing, obviously, you got to take a positive out of everything.
You have to. You have to, or else what are you going to do, right?
In the long run, it could build a more of a close feeling, more of a
you kind of appreciate. I think you appreciate things.
And I think that goes both ways. Like I really, I remember the first few times, just remembering I'm so appreciate just doing this again.
Yeah.
And
I agree, man. As soon as we could open the doors and people were coming in and eating and having a beer, I was also feeling the same.
There's also that feeling of anytime things that you do start to feel stagnant and stale.
Yeah.
You can just think back to that COVID time and think remember this.
Yeah, I with my wife, I chat about that stuff a lot because, once in a while, now it's getting good again. I think we had a crappy day maybe last week. Yeah. It was one of the days we were under, which is during normal times, it's really rare. But we had a crappy day last week, income-wise for the restaurant. And I told her, hey, you know what? This is still way better than a few months ago. So relax. It's one day, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
So my wife and I, we work together, and it's I had the Empress guys on last week, and also they work together, and I think the dynamic of almost being so opposite, mindsets, it really helps to balance the business. It helps so much. My wife is she's really into the numbers, and she's really she gets down deep into the nitty gritty of every single little detail. And sometimes she even micromanages, too much, right? And I'm just no problem. What do you need? Here you go. No problem. Just pay next time. Beer? All right, beer. Oh, I forgot to pay for my beer. No problem. It's on me, So it's it's always to be one extreme or the other would be rough. Yeah.
On my own, so I have to have both those voices in my head.
You need to have the angel and the devil here, kind of being hey. This guy spends a lot. Give him a little bit. Well, he didn't spend that much. Yeah, it's crazy.
Sure.
Yeah.
You said
Keep going. What's
the
up?
Empress.
The Empress guys were here last week, man. So this is theirs. This is the
nice.
mango. I don't know if you tried the mango.
Yeah, I've had the mango.
Juana, can you round 2? Thanks, man. So let's do this. Yeah. So let's get the shout out to the Empress guys. This is the mango. Yeah. So this is a nice one. I actually was able to try their tamarind barbecue sauce last night or 2 nights ago. It's great.
Yeah?
Good sauces. These guys are really creative. So shout out to the Empress. Yeah.
I've had their hot sauce. I know it's good. I know this mango one's good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a little bit more spicy.
A little bit more spicy. It's
Yeah.
coming up, right? Good. I wasn't sure if it was more or less spicy than my chipotle, but it's more. That's perfect. Yeah.
That's much more spicy than chipotle.
It is. Yeah. It's great. Yeah. Yeah. Great.
I love chipotle. Chipotle is like, you know, I was gonna say like when we were eating the chipotle. I know I was speaking a little bit early, but I was gonna say that would be my favorite.
Okay.
So this is a close run thing.
Yeah. No, this is delicious. If you like tamarind, they got a really nice tamarind barbecue sauce. Really good, man. Really good. So, how would you compare? Now you've been doing the football here for a while,
Yeah.
right? How do you compare sort of the football culture here as opposed to like the UK?
It's incomparable.
Yeah, of course. I know because obviously the UK's got the Premier League and that's the biggest league in the world, arguably, right?
Mm.
You know, obviously the Spaniards would say that theirs is, right? But
Yeah.
so I mean, so you're coming here, you're doing your football. It's kind of at the beginning, whereas you know the UK, it's kind of almost top level, right?
Yeah.
If not top level, it is top level, right?
Richest league in the world.
Yeah.
You
So
know.
there you go. So how does it compare?
I think the way it started is what's the same.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
There's definitely Taiwanese people who love football. There's definitely, or if I gotta say soccer.
I'm trying not to say soccer because I remember I was subbing for the MFA once, and I was like, "All right, kids, who's ready to play a little soccer?" And I got like those evil eyes from all the coaches. They're like, "Zzz, "It's football." I'm like, "Oh, I forgot, man."
Yeah.
Relax.
So
you can say.
We'll start with the things that are the same.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
There's definitely Taiwanese people who love football.
Yeah.
That's a no-brainer. There are kids here who are so passionate about it.
Sorry.
There are
just means
adults
someone's
here,
at the
so-
door. Yeah.
So passionate about it.
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
And I think that goes the world over. You have to, you know, and like there are people who love this game, and you can go to anywhere in the world and you can find people who love it.
Great game. Yeah.
Which is fantastic. And I think, you know, like no matter where in the world you work in football, you gotta see that, and you've got to make that one of the most important things is you love it, and everybody around you, everybody who does it has to love it too.
Yeah.
What's different?
Really nice.
You know, like I remember when I came here, like one of the first games I played in a friendly game against like one of the top teams in Taiwan, and it was like at that time there were barely any teams in Taiwan. There was like 2 professional teams, and we were playing like one of the top universities.
Yep.
And now, like there are more and more teams who are, you know, professionalizing. There's more and more
It's
opportunities.
televised now, which is pretty cool.
It should be more
right?
televised.
Of course.
That's
but
what's got to push. That's what's got to be pushed in, and you know, there's got to be this environment where we start pushing in, you know, more exposure, more marketing. You know, like
how do you think we get it to the level of a baseball here? I mean, that's a long road, but because baseball is on all the time, we got the stadiums. Like when there's a game here, everybody here is wearing their brothers or their dragons, whatever they're wearing.
Sure.
So how can we get it to? I mean, I don't know if we can.
I'm not an expert on baseball though.
Yeah.
In terms of baseball has got ingrained into culture of Taiwan, right?
True.
And
Okay.
I'd like to know, like, because like my fiance's cousin's actually, husband's actually a baseball coach. I'd like to know, little kids in Taiwan, like kids like under the age of 10, are more playing football or more playing baseball? I'd want to know that, but because I feel like that we're growing very fast.
I think so. I think.
And baseball, I feel like is more of a like.
Well, like the Little League thing is
Concentrated.
huge, right? The Little League team thing is huge here, right? Like Little League World Championships, Taiwan does well, apparently, right?
But I don't know how much of that is like club-based and how much that's school-based, and it's more concentrated into you go to certain schools to play it. Whereas football's a very easy, accessible game. You can go...
Well, that's why every country in the world plays it usually, right?
Yeah. But I've totally digressed from the question. How do we get it to the level of baseball?
Yeah.
Number one, is we've got to create an environment that is appealing to go to, and it's a spectacle, right? You go to a baseball game, you go to a team.
That's beautiful.
There's like you can get food. There's there's something that you can feel part of, right? The fans are all wearing that, like the hats and the clothing of the team,
and they have those little stick things.
Yeah,
those are cool.
It's got a culture. There's something that you can feel part of, right?
Yeah.
And people will actually tag their identity to certain things like sports teams, right?
Everywhere in the world, for sure.
So you've got to be able to give people something they can be emotionally invested in.
Yeah.
At the moment, like what we've got for the Taiwan Premier League is a handful of teams are starting to build fan clubs.
Okay.
But no team actually charges money to go to a game.
Oh, really?
So if you want to go and watch any team,
just walk in.
You just walk in. If you were selling like these wings for free, people would just assume that hasn't have any value.
There's no value. Yeah, of course.
People will not give value to things that you do not put a price on. So basically,
I agree.
If we could start, putting some sort of thing, people put in a little bit of money.
Don't have to be a lot, $100 or something, 100 NT, you buy quite whatever, right?
100, 150.
Yeah, 150.
People will start, that small financial
There's a value.
investment is an emotional investment.
Agreed.
They'll be like, I paid to come here. I paid for this event. I want to see something.
Okay.
Rather than, this is free, whatever.
It's free. You walk in, you leave halfway through because you don't care, right?
Yeah.
But if you're going to like a music concert, you're not leaving because you bought your ticket. You're there, right? Yeah.
Like you see a free show, you'll just walk in.
Yeah, you don't care. Please, yeah. That makes sense. Yeah.
So
you devalue your product, basically.
That's the way to put it.
I mean, yeah. I don't know if I should.
So if we were charging 100 and 150 NT.
We got something. Home and away games.
Yeah. Hey, Florian.
Home and away, Florian. What's up?
That's a no-brainer. Yeah. Home and away games. If you have the opportunity to build a home fan base. Say we got
the Dragons are here, right?
And they're only here temporarily, right?
Yeah, I heard that, which bummed me out because when there's a big game, Tianmu's hopping. I mean, everyone's got their Dragons gear on, and the streets are like red and white, and they got the Dragons, and people are coming in, and if they didn't want to go, they come here. We put the sound on here. It's great.
Yeah,
it's great. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, and businesses around here will benefit.
Of course, yeah.
And then eventually, some business will go. You know what? I'm gonna put some sponsorship into that. I want my name in that stadium.
I actually watch some baseball on the TV once in a while, checking it out. Pizza Rock, right? Pizza Rock they're on there. They're sponsored. Yeah, sure. They sponsor the baseball, which is I'd love to. I have a customer, a guy Rosel Herrera. He's from the Dominican Republic, and he plays here.
Yeah.
And I mean, I bring him food almost every day. Yeah. Great guy, man. Like young guy, he wants his beans and rice, and he goes and plays. He's a great player. It's great. So when I heard that it was temporary, like the whole team, I was kind of like, oh, really? That's a bummer.
Where are they moving?
I think they're going to Shinju.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Obviously, I'd love it that they stayed here because it's perfect for Tianmu, and Tianmu can afford it. Tianmu can have, Tianmu's a good spot.
I think Tianmu was also Tianmu's its own little village, right?
Tianmu's its own village, guaranteed. Yeah.
I swear, I live in Xi. You come from Xi to Tianmu, the weather's better, different, right? I've had days.
It's better. We'll take that.
It's better.
Yeah,
I've had days in Xi where it's like the worst weather possible. Like you kind of I live about 800 meters from 101. You can't even see 101 that
Okay.
bad.
Wow. Okay.
And you come to Tianmu and you're like, oh, it's a nice day. What's going on? So
Tianmu's a great spot, man. It's beautiful here.
Tianmu, if Tianmu had its own little sports, like a sports team,
the Dragons,
I think the Tianmu people would get behind it.
They would because Tianmu has its own Facebook groups, and they're like support Tianmu. It's great.
But think how many other places in Taiwan that would be like we were saying about home and away games. Some of the teams
home and away,
they don't attach to a place, right? They don't officially name their place in the name.
Yeah.
So how's anyone going to get any I don't know, you got
the best example,
I don't know, you're sponsored by Tai Power.
Yeah.
And I mean, we all.
That's great.
We all need electricity, but I'm not emotionally attached to that. Or
exactly.
Datong, they made my rice cooker, but I'm not emotionally attached to that either. But if it's like Taipei, I live in Taipei. I'll support the Taipei.
It's like in the UK. How is it different? Because you guys all have your own city. Like
it's very tribal and very territorial.
Yeah, exactly.
We, like I support the team that I of the place that I grew up in.
You almost have to. If you don't, you're like, what are you? You're kicked out of the club. You're out of the tribe, right? Yeah.
I think my dad would have just been like,
he's not mine. He's not mine.
Yeah. I don't think I had a lot of choice in my team to support. I think
What's the team?
Brentford. So first season in the Premier League this season, having a great season.
Shout out to Brentford. All right. Beautiful. Yeah. So I was going to say that I just wanted to touch on the thing about sort of devaluing your product. They were interviewing a restaurant. I can't remember. I think it was like a Westernish restaurant run by a Taiwan, or no, a Japanese sushi place or something. And through the whole pandemic, they were keeping busy, and the news was interviewing them all the time. And my wife's like, "Yeah, wow, look what they're doing." And we watched it, and what they're doing is half price off everything. Everything's half price.
Yeah.
And then my wife's like, "Well, everything. What do you think about that?" I'm like, "They're absolutely destroying the value of their brand. So what's going to happen in 3 months?" It's like, okay, let's say this wing, it's half price every day, all the time. Okay, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. You're used to like a 50 NT or a 10 NT wing or whatever it would be.
Yeah, for sure.
And then it's like, okay, we're doubling it again. People are going to be like, what?
Yeah, for sure.
Now the value is, you've made your value this, and now you want to charge this, right?
People are probably waiting for it to go back down.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I had this for half the price before.
Yeah. You can't do that. It's really in my opinion, it's really a rough thing to do. You can't. It's like you saying half price.
Yeah.
Half price on all my classes.
Yeah.
Through COVID, and then you get all these students, and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, double again. And then they're like, wait a minute, I just got used to paying half price, right?
For me, when I was doing online, I just made it cheap as possible.
Oh yeah, of course. Online is different. Yeah.
Because online, I was like, for me, when I saw online, I thought like I cannot. When I'm on a field, I'm confident of the quality. Online, I was just constantly just like, I'm gonna
What's
put it
different?
cheap, and I'm also gonna do it because I think you maybe want to just keep occupied right now. And just keep doing
for sure.
something.
I mean more like food wise, where it's like, here's your 100. Let's say your 150 NT taco. Yeah. Now you're selling it for 50, and then now it's going back to 150.
Yeah.
And then people are gonna be like, what?
Well, if you had like a night of doing something similar to that, then it attracts people, right?
Sure. We do Taco Tuesday. Today's Taco Tuesday. We just launched that again.
Yeah.
So we do our big tacos, but they're 100 NT, right?
Yeah.
Taco Tuesday. So we just launched that again. We stopped for a while because we're just getting killed for a while, through the whole COVID.
Just
but now it's back.
Just setting you up.
Set me up for some Taco Tuesday tonight. Every Tuesday from now on. We got it. Yeah.
For sure.
Beautiful, yeah.
I think I'll come on more Tuesdays.
You should come on Tuesday, man. Anytime. You can come anytime, man, and you can get some food.
Oh,
yeah, bro. I think round 2 is coming, or what? Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah. So I think UK. If you had to sum it up in one sentence, UK sort of the football culture and the Taiwanese culture.
Well, ours is
just finish that one off there.
Ours is so much more developed. It's just more developed.
Just ahead.
But we could also say like Japan didn't have this before.
Yeah, Japan for sure. Yep.
Japan now has a massive culture, and Korea as well. So I'd say it takes time.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think if everybody really wants to invest in it and really look at, like, maybe the answer to this is not within Taiwan. It needs to be looked around.
Okay.
And look around and, it's hard to give that one word.
No, yeah, for sure. That's okay, yeah.
It's got a bit chilly there.
I
don't want to go for the milk early.
You don't want to do the milk yet?
No, I just got a little bit chilly on my lip there.
So you did the online thing, right?
Yeah.
And I noticed when I was looking through pictures, your Facebook marketing and your Instagram marketing are pretty different. Right? Is that purposely? I mean, I would guess so, right?
I think it's a bit of a formatting issue. I don't think that was the purpose. I think it was just formatting.
No, I'm saying it as a good thing, right? Like it looks like you're marketing differently because most people, including myself, we just put the same video, the same post on both. Right?
Someone once said to me, and I don't want to say this in like sinister way.
Do it.
Like Instagrams for the kids.
Oh, for sure it is. For sure.
Facebook's
yeah.
for the moms and dads. Like,
exactly.
I don't want to be like, you know, like,
no.
Like you got two different markets, but like I know myself, like I more look at Facebook.
Oh yeah, I do
which
too.
makes me feel old now that someone said that.
I know. Yesterday I was chatting with a family, and their boys in high school. He's in grade 12, and him and another grade 12 guys. They started a podcast, and I checked it out. It's pretty good. I said, let's come by and do a podcast, man. Yeah. And I'm like, just add me on Facebook, and they're just like,
what?
And I'm like, oh, I forgot. Facebook's for old people. Okay, I forgot. Yeah. Add me on Instagram.
I remember when I was
forget about that.
I remember when I was like, like 18, 19, and like Facebook was like a new thing.
Yeah, for sure.
And it was like, and then it suddenly became like, oh my god, my mom's on Facebook.
Yeah, your mom's on.
Now it's everybody.
And your ex-girlfriend and your grandma and everybody's on there.
And your boss.
And your boss is on there, and it's crazy. Yeah.
Instagram's a little bit more private, I suppose, in certain ways.
Yep. Okay.
So I think that's a thing for people. I'm not really. I'm kind of a little bit of a technophobe. I don't like doing too much. I see like social media as like a necessary evil.
Yeah. Well, you got a business. I know a lot of people that don't have businesses, and they're like, I'm not on it. I'm like, all power to you, man.
It has to be like we do waste too much time on it. For sure.
Yeah, but definitely.
It has to be done. And there is like, I don't know about you, I have a little bit of a fear about putting stuff out on social media. But
it's there forever, right? Yeah.
But I just try and, if I want to put something out, just make it positive.
Okay. Yeah.
I think make it more about the people you're with than about yourself, and it becomes a better thing.
Okay.
If it becomes more about us than about me, then it generally works well.
Okay.
And I think that goes for anything you do, any kind of, if you make it about everybody together,
I agree.
It's more acceptable.
Whenever we chat, I think we think sort of similarly, so I that's why I figured
Tell you what, guy I gotta give a shout out to.
Do your thing, man.
Florian. Florian's an awesome guy. Florian is my kit manufacturer for Evolve GK. Used him for Team GB, the Copa America team as well. His company AFE, amazing kits.
Okay.
Best, amazing, best football kit company I've seen in Taiwan. So,
okay, all right.
Massive shout out to Florian.
Shout out to Florian and what's the name of the company?
AFE.
AFE. Okay.
Because he's helped me out massively in setting up in Taiwan.
Okay.
And I got to give a shout out to Forrest and Maddox.
All right. Thanks for checking it out. Yeah.
Yeah, they're good fun. They're great kids.
Yeah. Actually, I think I know who they are as well. Actually,
super talented.
Yeah, for sure.
But next time I see you, I'm gonna kick your butt.
That's funny, man.
They love it. They love. Some of those kids who just love football.
Do you find that, like, when I used to coach, obviously, so I used to coach when I had my own sort of club a long time ago. It was tough because people would, the clubs would, it was pretty cutthroat. Like I found a lot of really cutthroat. Like people would be stealing my kids all the time. At that time, my Chinese was shit.
Yeah.
So I found when my Chinese was shit, people would be stealing my kids. Even other foreigners were just like stealing my kids all the time. And then they're like, hey, they said that I can go to his team and like be free and just go for free. And I was kind of like,
I've heard of that.
That's kind of lame, you know.
I
don't know. Is it still like that? I don't know.
I have such a niche that nobody can really steal from me.
Okay, yeah.
There's one other there's one other guy in Taiwan who specializes in goalkeeper coaching, has Goalkeeping Academy.
Okay.
And I would honestly say to any of my kids, if you wanted to go to him and see how another person works, then I would go for it. That's a great idea. Because I don't own anybody,
Yeah, of course. So, yeah.
I've seen it with clubs. But obviously, as I don't have a club, I only focus on those players and their performances and their development. So that makes everything I do much more personal to them.
I think that for you, it's smart that let's just say you're part of a big club and you're doing the goalkeeping, and then you go to another club. They're not going to want you, and they're going to kind of be like, but you're doing your own thing. You're like an independent goalkeeping specialist.
Yeah.
So I would imagine that every club wants you to go in and take one or two of their kids. I would imagine.
Do, but then there's also that, like, there's a little bit of skepticism with that. A little bit, you know? So
really? Okay.
There's a little
How
bit.
so? That doesn't make sense. Okay.
You know, when you don't know someone straight away or know what's going on, there's a bit, people do get a bit skeptical.
There you go, man.
Whoa, what we got now?
We got the Korean. Keep going. Let's eat the Korean, and then keep going.
Korean?
Yeah, the red one. Yeah.
What's this one? One, two.
The three. Those two are spicy, man.
So
we got the Korean, and then we got the ghost pepper,
Yeah.
the sweet potato from Empress.
Yeah.
Shout out to Empress again. And then we got that's the killer.
I
That's
can
the killer.
smell that already.
Can you smell it? Yeah.
You can smell like a sourness, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's it, man.
Yeah.
That's it. Keep going, man. Keep going. Let's eat this
Sure.
one. 'Cause
Well, what I was saying, like, I think I'm so specialist that, you know, people don't steal, and if you know if people wanted to, then, like, you know,
I'm eating this, but smelling the last one.
you know. I think you create an environment where people feel valued, they'll stay, you know.
For sure.
I've been lucky that most people I've had, like, I've never had like a falling out with anybody. I haven't had any difficulties that way. You know,
I think
people
that's
have
because
left,
you're
so-
really chill, like a chilled guy. I think that you're kind of like again, when I chat with you, I figure you're kind of a lot like me, where you're like neutral. You're just like, you know, you're just kind of coasting. You're like in the middle. You're like this guy. These guys are all kind of like all over. And you're
I think I
kind
have
of
my
like,
moments, but I present a certain.
everybody
person
does.
sometimes.
Everybody does, right? Yeah, for sure. But you just kind of like, I call it like being like a chameleon. You know what I mean? Like if this guy's like he's wild and he's yelling, then you go in and you're like, yeah, you get to his level and you're just like, yeah, you know, and then you kind of like calm things down. This guy's really mellow, and you kind of like come. I don't know. That's kind of what I
think the simple way to describe it is just put people first.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Someone once said to me that football is just all about people.
Okay.
And trying to think who said that to me now. But it's true. Like,
Lewry, maybe.
yeah, it was Lewry actually.
Was it Lewry? Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
Shout out
just,
to
you
Lewry.
know, football is, you know, is, I suppose, everything. It's just people management.
Shout out to Louis Lancaster, man. Miss you over here, brother.
Yeah, I miss that guy. Awesome guy.
Yeah, great guy. So Martin's saying, I feel it's easier to catch people via Instagram than on Facebook. And Facebook to be both. Sorry. Yeah, I couldn't read that.
It's easier to get. I feel it's
People-
easier to get people via Instagram and Facebook.
And Facebook. Okay.
To be more. What's the last one? I can't see what it's called.
Official. Be more official, yeah. I try to use Instagram
But
for like a behind the scenes look a little bit. And then Facebook is like, I'm going to do a paid ad. I'm going to do something like that. I'm going to do it on Facebook. Probably not going to do it on Instagram.
I find
Yeah.
Instagram gets you a lot of likes, and it
Yeah.
doesn't get you a lot of
Money. Yeah. Instagram, yeah. No,
I remember
yeah.
I put something up on Instagram, and it got like I promoted it, and the amount of likes that I got was just like, wow, that's an insane
A
amount of
lot.
likes.
Okay.
And I realized, like, hang on a second, none of these people are in Taiwan.
There you go, yeah.
So I was like, I'm
Mom's
paying.
sharing it. Yeah.
I'm paying for like somebody who's paid to like this in Indonesia.
Yeah, that's funny, yeah. Well, there are those farms, right? That you can
Yeah, that's basically what it was.
India and Philippines or whatever, right? There's the
Yeah, for
farms,
sure.
yeah.
Because you set your location, right?
Yeah.
And it's maybe appealing to that, but like, I don't know. It gave me a massive ego boost thinking I had like
Yeah, of course.
200 odd people who wanted to come.
You're
but
like, mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. How was the Korean?
Hotter than I expected.
Hotter than the mango?
Yeah.
I think so, right?
It's
Sometimes it's
'Cause I
hard
don't-
to label them, you
it's
know?
tasty. I don't really associate Korean food with that really hot.
Okay,
right?
okay. That's just me, you know. We got
Yeah.
this sauce. One of my ex-staff, his family opened a Korean place, and I told him I love Korean wings.
Yeah,
And he's like,
sure.
let's do a sauce. I said, okay. So he showed me a sauce. And he's like, it has this little extra Korean hot spice that goes into it.
Yeah.
And then he made it. And I'm like, oh, cool. I'm like, but give me that. Let me put some more in there. Yeah. So I'm like,
That's
okay,
nice.
yeah, now I like it more. Yeah. So it's
I was actually just talking yesterday about how like I'd love to go back to Korea. Korea's awesome. Korean food. Oh.
Korean food is great. Yeah, yeah. Did you watch Squid Game or no? Yeah.
All right, that's.
Did you get
no, I haven't watched it.
You have not watched it? Okay.
I'm not
That's
a big
massive.
TV watcher. I'm not a big
Me
Netflix
neither.
watcher.
Me neither. Yeah. But I did watch Squid Game.
I've seen everybody on my
Memes and
Facebook
stuff,
has just been sharing memes of like Squid Game.
Yep.
And I'm like, yeah,
It's crazy, right?
It looks like like those shows
I don't
where
watch
you're like,
Squid Game. I don't watch TV, but I watched that and I binged it because I loved it. Yeah. Yeah.
because you'll go down like a total rabbit hole or
Oh,
something.
that's exactly what I did. Exactly. That's why I don't watch TV. Yeah.
I remember like when you discover a show and you're like,
Cobra Kai.
This is gonna end my social life for a few weeks.
Exactly.
So
that's
now
exactly
I'm
what it is.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get started, so I don't have to finish it. But
I'm usually really good. Like there was that huge one that everybody watched, Game of Thrones or something.
Yeah.
I didn't watch any of that.
Yeah.
Like I watched nothing because everybody was like, "Yeah, you're gonna."
I can make an admission that everyone's gonna hate me for.
Yeah. Okay.
Never watched Star Wars.
Never watched Star Wars.
Yeah.
Oh
Wow. People were like,
here goes our views, bro.
Yeah. Everyone's like, screw this guy.
What? I watched Star Wars when I was a kid. Yeah, but
Yeah.
no. And then I watched the new ones, and I try to get my daughter into them.
Yeah.
But there's a lot. It's tough. Yeah.
I don't like admitting that.
Well, then Star Trek, no, none. Oh, right. All right.
Every time I admit that, people are like,
How dare
what's
you?
wrong with you? What's wrong? I get it's great. But it's like, like when someone hasn't been introduced to you,
Yeah, for sure.
you're just like, you maybe don't get into it.
No, that's exactly it. Yeah. Like I didn't watch any TV shows. I love Seinfeld. I watched that's like ages ago, right? And then I watched a little bit of The Walking Dead, and I got bored.
Yeah.
And then that was it. I didn't watch anything until Cobra Kai. So
Yeah.
there's like 10 years in between Walking Dead and Cobra Kai. And Cobra Kai was because I watched Karate Kid as a kid, right? I don't know if you saw Cobra Kai, but yeah, it was great. I loved it. Yeah. And then I thought, okay, no more, because I'll just binge watch the whole. Because we're our own boss, right? So you don't. You're you don't have to go in. I'm like, I don't have to go in. I'm going to watch more Cobra Kai.
There's also that thing of like,
it's like an addiction.
I can get like, like when I think a lot of people have this is where I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but
Sure.
I know I can get quite addicted to things.
For sure. Me too.
I can be like, I really like this. I really, really want it. I really want to watch this, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So
no, that's what happened with me with Squid Game.
For sure.
Exactly what happens with Squid Game.
How many episodes are there?
I think there's 9. It's not bad. It's 9.
So it's like 9 episodes.
It's only like 9 hours. Yeah. It's a long time when you think about 9 hours.
How random is that? An awesome,
amazing
a show,
a Korean show,
which is not in English, and it's from a country that is very completely different than America, but
yes,
Europe has just become like this global phenomenon.
Yeah,
Korean culture has a great way of crossing over sometimes.
Apparently, it's like the most watched series in the history of Netflix right now, or it's trending to be, or it is.
Yeah, but Netflix isn't that old, so it's like.
But that's still pretty big, I think.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I know it's not that old, but that's still kind of crazy. I can imagine
that's going to just like every other year something's going to come and overtake that.
So I watched that. I binged through that, and I posted something about it. And I had a friend back home saying, "There's another one called Alice in Borderland," and I'm like, "No, I'm not going to watch it." And then 2 nights ago, I watched 2 episodes, and I'm almost finished it now too, because I'm like, I can stay up another 2 hours and watch 2 episodes a night, and then. The next day you wake up, then you skip your workout, you slept in, and then you take your daughter to school. Usually I take my daughter to school, and then I'll go do the gym or I'll go for a run. But then, I drag an ass bringing her there.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I come back home and I just go back to sleep. It's bad. Sure. It's a bad thing, for sure.
For sure.
So I don't do it very often, but I did it for Squid Game, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah. Let's keep going. Let's go.
I'm staring at this next one with intrigue.
So this one
terrifies me.
Yeah. So this one is flavor-wise is pretty awesome. I think it's probably my favorite sauce from the Empress guys.
And I've got a good meaty wing here, haven't I?
You got a good meaty wing there, man.
Yeah.
So this is ghost pepper and a special. I don't want to butcher it. It's macaw, like a macaw pepper. It's like a special,
like the
aboriginal pepper. Some of the local Aboriginals use a pepper. It's almost like a peppercorn or something, I think.
Oh, what's it called?
So that's on here. I thought it was macaw. I don't know.
Macaw's a bird.
I know. So that's why I'm like, that's wrong. I'm butchering it.
It's a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
this is it. So it's made with sweet potato, the Macau, can't be Macau.
I cannot remember.
I can't be Macau. But anyways, it's a special. I think it's a peppercorn.
Yeah.
And ghost peppers, all locally grown. So
it's really interesting.
Yeah. And it's really good. So
all right,
I'm gonna enjoy that.
All right. I really like that.
It's good, right?
I didn't get any spice on the first bite though.
Okay.
So I'm gonna get all cocky now, and I'll be going for the milk in about 10 seconds.
That, yeah.
For me, this one's like, it's spicy.
Yeah.
But that's like orderable in a restaurant. You'd be like, yeah, I'm happy with that.
Okay. The thing about hot sauces is they kind of, sometimes they're super spicy and then they sit and they mellow out.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they go spicy again. It's kind of like a weird thing. Yeah, but it was last week. It was definitely spicier, but flavor's fantastic. So I want to ask you:
is this your sauce or is this?
No, this is Empress, man. This is the Empress. That's why I didn't know what the name was of that peppercorn thing. Yeah, it's
Empress,
their ghost. It's their ghost. It's their ghost pepper sauce. Yeah.
You're good sauce.
Can't remember what the name is.
What is the
I'm
name
sorry.
of this? What is?
I'll get you the name. I'm sorry. It's the. So what I have to do is I have to figure out how to, when I pull out a sauce, hit this button where it can be like ding 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 ding. There's the name of the sauce.
Sure.
Like. I'm working on it, and it'll happen. I apologize, but yeah, I'll show. It's fantastic. It's like ghost macaw, something like that. Yeah, I can't. I'm mispronouncing it. I'm sorry, but yeah, it's delicious. I love it. I love it.
Nice like.
Got the nice. The lips. The lips are heating up, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, starting to sweat a little bit.
That,
are we getting a little sweat here? Here we go. No,
let's go
a little bit. Yeah. The ghost pepper macaw, right? So
that was not.
What?
As extreme as I was expecting.
Okay, well.
That was hot, but it was...
like I said, hot sauces kind of are,
I don't know, like...
So I want to ask you...
Hit me. Oh, no, it's coming now.
It's coming. Well, while it's coming up, let me ask you, could you give me like 3 overrated skills for a goalkeeper versus 3 underrated skills, in your opinion? Or either or both.
I don't know if there's overrated skills.
Okay, underrated. Let's do under.
We'll do like
any underrated
every
skills.
skill is. I think any position, the most
underrated. Okay, let's do 5 underrated then. How about that?
We could go so many underrated. I go decision making, your understanding of the game, how you receive it. I think we undervalue that. Like we have to build those skills.
Decision making for sure.
And having the confidence to make decisions.
Confidence is huge in everything, and I think it helps in life as well.
I think we undervalue, especially with kids, the importance of teaching them confidence and inspiring confidence. Because
my lips are warming up now for sure.
I think confidence is a skill.
It's really a skill.
I know as a young player, I lack that, and I know that.
So did I.
For sure, when I was younger, I used to throw up before games when I played when I was a kid.
My legs would be numb sometimes. I'm like, I can't move.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm playing soccer, man. I love this. What am I freaking out for? But that's tough.
I think everybody has that certain amount of fear.
Yeah.
With whatever they do, and like I think when you're teaching anything, I think confidence becomes one of those things where it's a must that you have to create an environment in which you set the mechanisms for people to
confidence is king,
build strong mental skills. Like
it's so important. Yeah. Is there overconfidence though? Is there?
Overconfidence is more maybe arrogance.
Okay.
Yeah, it can happen.
Can you be overconfident and not be arrogant, in your opinion, or not really?
I think, that's the same thing.
It's pretty the same thing. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just curious.
For me, that's one of the things I say to players is like my number one thing is confidence. When
it's good for life skills too, man. Yeah.
When we teach football, it's not just the technical skill; it's the technical, tactical, the physical, and the psychological and the social skills.
Yep.
And so,
team sport, a lot of social skills. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we get these down and we really focus on these, the technical, and maybe the physical, and tactical as well.
Okay.
Those psychological, social skills. That's a massive part. And if you can, I feel like as a society, those are things that we're really understanding now, right? And if you can put that as the forefront of how you teach something and how you talk to people, I feel that's like a really vital thing to do.
I think it's really important, man. The confidence is so important. Yeah. I mean, if whether the kids turn professional or they use these social skills in their job.